What is up, guys? It is me, Sam, from Cookin' Reviews, welcoming you back to a brand new video. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 games that were talked about at the E3 event that I am excited for. Let me be clear, I was planning on doing a series of videos where I went through each conference, but I just didn't feel like doing that. I'm kind of busy right now with other projects, and I just wanted to frankly lighten the workload a little bit, but I still wanted a way to talk about games I'm excited. This is going to be not really a very scripted video, if you will, but it is going to have a lot of thoughts on some upcoming games I am excited for. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, I'm sorry, there's some work being done at my house, and maybe on the neighbor's house too. But with all that out of the way, let's get rolling. These are the 5 games that I'm excited about that were talked about at E3 2021. Starting with the first one, we have Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. This is kind of a Final Fantasy hack and slash game that looks to be a prequel to the first Final Fantasy game. They're talking about Chaos, Salat, and Garland, both of whom I believe are from the first Final Fantasy game. I have yet to play the first Final Fantasy game, but this game looks really interesting. It's like a mix of Dark Souls, Devil May Cry, and Final Fantasy all put together in one. I'm very excited about it. I will say the dialogue and setting seem very edgy, if you will. They're trying to be like super dark. Like literally, I probably think the guy said the word chaos, like the main character probably said the word chaos close to 10 times in the reveal trailer for the game. So maybe leaning on that a bit too much. But again, I think it looks cool, and hopefully I'll get to play the demo soon. We'll see. Next up is the Guardians of the Galaxy video game, which was revealed at the Square Enix press conference. Now, I was very shocked about this game being here. I had heard rumors about a Square Enix Guardians game being worked on, but I didn't think it'd get revealed this soon. I thought they were going to finish working on Avengers and then move on to Guardians. But no, it was here, and I'm going to be honest, it looks pretty dang good. It looks much better than the Avengers game, that's for sure. And that's probably the most surprising thing, considering Square Enix Avengers was a pretty big disaster, and frankly still is a pretty big disaster. It's shocking how well this reveal for the Guardians game went. It went really well, considering the reveal for the Avengers game was not particularly great, and the game turned out even worse. But overall, I am excited about this game. It looks cool getting to play as Star-Lord and getting to command your allies to do certain attacks. It's kind of a shame that we don't get to play as them, but again, they're working on Star-Lord more, and I'd prefer them to just work on one gameplay style and make it really good, than compared to working on multiple gameplay styles and them just all being bad. Again, prime example would be Avengers. The combat kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy VII Remake in a way, you know, with you being able to play as a main character and then being able to direct your allies to do certain attacks without actually playing as them. Granted, you could play as other characters during combat in Final Fantasy VII Remake, but you could also command them to do certain things without actually playing as them. But yeah, overall, very excited for this game, and I'm probably going to get it for the PlayStation 5. Moving on to some Nintendo stuff, and by the way, the Nintendo press conference was probably the best out of all of them. The first one is Metroid 5, or Metroid Dread, whichever one you prefer. I have not played a single Metroid game. I own Metroid Prime 1 and 3, but I'm waiting to get 2 before I play them, but I have not played a single 2D Metroid game either. And yet, this game looked very, very cool. It's really exciting to see Metroid come back in a pretty big way. Not gonna lie, I am very anticipating this game. The only thing that's holding it back for me is that I haven't played any of the previous Metroid games. I was hoping Nintendo was going to announce some sort of Metroid collection. That way I could play all the games that come before this and get caught up on the story. But they didn't even talk about a Metroid collection, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, overall, looks very cool. I'm sure a lot of 2D Metroid fans are pretty excited about it. And who knows, I might pick myself up a copy. Looks very interesting. Next up is Shin Megami Tensei 5, the 5th mainline entry in the Shin Megami Tensei series. Now, I'll be frank, I am not a Shin Megami Tensei fan. In fact, the only one that I have played is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and that's playing the HD remaster of it. I will be 100% honest with you. The only reason I got the remaster was to be able to interact with Dante in the game. Now, this might just be me not being an SMT fan, but the fact that that game got a remaster this year, and it features the exact same enemy design as SMT3, again, that might be something that's spread across a lot of the games, I don't know. Again, I'm not an SMT fan, but I'm really hoping Dante makes a return, and if he does make a return, definitely gonna purchase this one. If not, might skip it. But overall, I'm sure a lot of RPG fans are excited for this one. The final game on this list of games I'm excited for is a bit of an odd one. It's Mario Super Rush Golf. I am not a golf person in the slightest. My dad and brother used to play golf a lot, now they don't. But this game looks like a whole lot of fun. There are a bunch of cool looking game modes that I'm interested to check out, like Rush Golf I think it was, where you run to the next hole trying to beat your opponents and you get like power-ups. There's a story mode. Overall, it just looks like a fun and very chill experience. And that's really all I have to say about it. It just looks really fun and I'm very curious to play it. Although, might not get it on release, but I will probably pick it up eventually. So that is all the games I am excited about that were actually talked about at E3. But, since I'm human and will never be satisfied, here are some games that were not talked about that I kind of wish they would have talked about. Off the top of my head, I wish they would have actually shown something from the Resident Evil Village. I know they said DLC is in development, but we didn't really see anything beyond that. I would have liked to hear any updates on Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, Final Fantasy XVI, or heck, the next Kingdom Hearts game. We haven't heard really much on those three games, or those three projects, if you will, so hearing something about them would have been interesting, but we didn't hear anything about them. Of course, hearing about Metroid Prime 4 would have been nice, along with a Metroid Trilogy collection. That way I could have all the games on the Switch, would have been nice, but again, they're still working on the game, and who knows, we might see it before the end of time. This one is kind of stupid, but I would have liked to see something Devil May Cry related. I know, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition just came out last year, but still, I have once. The final thing I can think of is there was no mention of the future of the Doom series, which is kind of up in the air, I think, after the ending to the Ancient Gods Part 2, which was the Doom Eternal DLC. Nor did we hear anything about Wolfenstein. It's been a very long time, I think, since Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, or Youngblood. And so at least hearing something about the future of those series after the Microsoft acquisition would have been nice. And with that, that is going to wrap up this video on the E3 2021 press conference. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is a bit of a new type of thing for me, just sitting down in front of a microphone and talking about things without much of a script. Let me know if you enjoyed this type of content, and who knows, I might do more of it in the future. Stay tuned for uploads because I've got some really exciting stuff planned. You won't want to miss it. Well, that's all for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Click that like button, make sure to comment down below, and subscribe for more videos in the future.